Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're doing more 20 minutes until dawn. As you can see, there is a new character. So, for her run, I decided to do a crossbow build. I'm using the runes that you see on the screen now. Now, her special ability is that she summons a raven. Her raven will inflict curse upon touching an enemy. Obviously, weapons that do more damage, such as the crossbow and the grenade launcher, would give you the best benefit from the curse ability. Her upgrades give you an additional crow. The crows will also do bullet damage upon impact and inflict curse. Next upgrade does burn damage for 35% of your curse damage whenever you curse somebody. So those two gives you another, way of taking damage. Could be the difference between getting the kill on the end of the curse or not. So that's nice. And then her last upgrade is Shadow Infinity, which increases your curse damage by 75%, but you get a minus 10% fire rate. Obviously, when you're doing a crossbow build, since you only have one shot per clip anyways, fire rate really isn't much of a factor. So I ended up picking a weapon combo that worked incredibly well without knowing what the additional upgrades were. And additionally, as you can see, we're on a new map, right? The pumpkin patch. You saw me select it in the beginning. And you can see that there's this bramble wall on the north side and a bramble wall on the south side that are pretty small. Like, it's probably like, what, 2 screen lengths roughly before you hit the edges. And it doesn't hurt you to run into the brambles. I thought it, the way they looked made me think that if you touched it, it would do damage. But no, it doesn't do any damage. It's just a regular wall. And much like the temple, if you kill anything outside of the brambles, you automatically pick it up. So with a new map, there are new enemies. As you can see, we have the little jack-o'-lantern boys. I think it's kind of interesting that these guys emit light. I do think it makes it a little easier for them to be seen, which is a nice touch. Actually, all the enemies emit light, all the enemies that are specific to this map. So as you can see, the jack-o'-lanterns kind of act as just the traditional brain boys. Then you have the ghosts who don't explode, but instead they're rather quick, but they're also pretty squishy. They die pretty quickly. The next enemy type being the bats, as you can see on the screen now, that shoot 2 shots that track. They do actually follow you, so you do have to be careful of that. And the final enemy type that's new to this is the witches. The witches kind of act like the leech monsters, but I think they're a little faster. In my opinion, they're faster than the leech monsters. They may be the same speed, and the smaller map just makes it harder to kite. But I noticed I was getting hit a lot more, and they seemed faster to me, but I don't know if that's true or not. Unfortunately, at time of recording, all the bosses, with the exception of the final boss, are the same. So you still have the deer boss, everything else is the same. And then the crater, the moon guy that would shoot lasers, instead of that one, you got this person that you can see on the screen now. As you can see, the cloak opens up, summoning 2 of those bat creatures. The bat creatures immediately shoot you, so that's how you're getting the roughly 4 shots put on you. You have to be a bit careful because some of the times the bullets will kind of run into each other, and it'll look like it's only 3 shots, but it's still 4 shots, so you can get double hit. And much like the other map with the cultist, because they are tracking, you can get stuck on the bullets. I find that was an issue I had on one of my runs. I ended up getting stuck on the bullets, just like I did with the cultist. Overall, I don't think this map is nearly as difficult as the temple map is. And the reason for that is the temple map has all the explosion characters, and the explosion characters make it difficult because you're playing anything that doesn't directly control like who you're hitting. Like if you're using lightning or if you're using summons, you could accidentally blow up an explosive enemy too close to you that you don't mean to, like you would normally just kite away from it, but then your summon or your lightning hits it and then you kill it instantly and then you take a lot of unnecessary hits. While there are no explosions, this map is very mobility based. So any builds that tend to be a little faster, a little bit more mobile, such as the crossbow build is great for that because you're reloading most of the time, so you're using your running speed instead of your walking speed most of the time. Overall, I do like the map. I do like how each map kind of has its own theme. I think the forest is good because it's like just, hey, here's a little bit of everything, a good like kind of intro. The temple has the explosions and all that is kind of the main focus of it. The tight quarters and the explosions make it rather difficult and interesting. And then this one's all speed based, so you have this infinite running left to right, but you still have to try to kind of punch holes in to get through, to get ways to run away. And obviously, if you constantly are running left or constantly running right, you lose out a bunch of experience. And because you can't make a wide circle to loop around like you typically would on forest, some of the strategies to kind of like kite aren't available to you. So it makes it a little bit different, makes it a little bit, I wouldn't say too much harder, but has changes your play style up. Like I've said a bunch of times with this game, I am super impressed with the developers. I think this game is fantastic. I think it's fantastically cheap. I have over 10 hours of gameplay per dollar I've put into this game, which is a really good return on value. And last month, they came out with a new character and a new map. This month, they came out with a new character and a new map. They already had plenty of content, in my opinion, before they released those two things. So I would highly encourage you to check out this game and support this developer. They've done an incredible job. They've really considered accessibility with languages and accessibility with creating features to make it easier to see enemies with outline modes, adding animations to make it easier to see enemies. Many of the complaints I had when I originally did my review of this game have already been addressed and improved since then, and that was only like a month or two ago. So I have to say I have been incredibly impressed with this game, and I would highly recommend it. I have a link down in the description below to the Steam page if you want to pick this game up for yourself, as well as a link to subscribe to my channel. So please check them out. Please subscribe. If you have been playing this game and have been enjoying it, please leave a comment with your favorite build down below. And thank you for watching.